Yes, fans. Arnold loves Helga. They're meant for each other. They'll live happily ever after. They get married someday. They make kids. It's amazing. I remember Monkey Business when she thinks she's going to get monkey nucleosis and turn into a monkey. And in the beginning, it all gets set up at the beginning. She runs into Arnold and he skateboards into her. She's coming around a corner and they, crash and they fall down and he apologizes and she says, watch where you're going, football head, and he leaves. And then she watches him go and her face falls into this really kind of, it's so good, man. It's very tender and it's she's so all that longing and that unfulfilled, all those wishes that are never going to come true. It's all in that drawing. And you kind of forgive her for being such a jerk and you really love her because that's, there's a lot of soul in the way that they get drawn. Why doesn't she just tell him? Kids, especially when you're young, you're like, why is she so why does she make it so nightmarish for herself? Yeah. And we actually tried to do that. Like, if you listen to her monologues when she gets out the locket, she explains her motives in Monkey Business, which is it's a great one because it really sets up that she loves Arnold and wishes she could tell him. And she, in fact, the only reason she tries to tell him that she loves him because she thinks she's about to die. And then Phoebe bursts in and goes, "You're not going to die." And she goes, "Oh, thank God," and jumps out of bed and goes, "Yeah, great, fantastic." And Arnold's like, "What were you going to tell me that was so important?" She goes, "Nothing. I was delirious. And besides, why would I want to tell an idiot like you, football head?" And then she walks out.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, so she got off the hook again. But that's what she says in her monologue at the beginning. She says, "Someday I want to tell you, but hopefully not soon because it would be embarrassing and humiliating."
Right.
And and so that's her thing. She thinks that if she told him, everybody would laugh at her and she'd be the laughing stock. And she's afraid. She's vulnerable. She thinks maybe he might not return her love.
Right.
Early when we were first starting it, when we were just making the pilot, it was like, what if Helga secretly loved, pretended to hate him but secretly loved him? That was from the very start. That was the key thing.
I just loved when she finally told him, and then at the end, when she took it back, I thought that was perfect.
Good, you like that? Because a lot of fans were like, "What? Oh God!"
Not again.
And then we had to go back to some kind of status quo.
Right.
It's just meant to be like, okay, we're gonna agree to pretend that you never said that.
Right.
But it was so fun, man. I remember we wrote that scene, the scene where she tells him, and it's huge. It goes on for pages. It's a huge kind of symphonic confession, all on a rooftop and storming out or something. I can't remember. The wind's blowing, and we'd been waiting to do that scene for 5 years, man. We were going to do one more called The Jungle Movie that was going to be where they all go to Central America where his parents disappeared and go looking for his lost parents. And in that one, it would be that Arnold, he knows how she feels. And so he ends up confessing to her under duress when they're way out in the middle of nowhere that he loves her too. That was what made the fans so mad. This would be the classic, I would say, pilot Arnold locket that Helga first pulled out on the bus in the pilot, which we later kind of expanded out into an 11-minute cartoon called 24 Hours to Live. If you remember in the series, there were many lockets. She keeps stealing a school picture of him and updating her locket with the latest school picture. Oh, it's right here. Oh man, look at this. What the? Wow. Well, Helga, how you doing?
Hey, where do you think you're going?
I thought I'd look inside the truck. Is that okay?
Fine, but don't tell anyone what you saw in there.
All right, I promise. I'll see you. This is weird. We came into this truck, and it seems to be a top secret Helga basement tape collection. These are all tapes that Helga has made over the years of Arnold. This is a blueprint to Arnold's room. Now that's a little creepy.